Medical units stand by. 30 seconds to contact. 20 seconds. 15. 10. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1.
We got him. Let's go.
Welcome, art aficionados and comic book connoisseur, to another episode of Proof of Comics, number 44. We've got a special fun show tonight. We've got our very own book detective who's coming in and showing us his recent finds. But before we get to that, let me introduce my panel over here, starting with
a man that I call Bob.
Uplaw.
How you doing, Billy?
Doing fine. Ate some butter pecan ice cream.
Ooh, nice.
Doing great.
Sweet sauce.
Sweet.
Very sweet.
We are also joined by Wrangler from Frequency Studios, though I know he's having some technical issues.
I think I got that fixed now. I can hear you guys.
Listen,
Awesome.
Frederic, there's no reason you should insult his intelligence, you know? Just wrong.
Did I do that?
Well, but what if he's correct?
You know he has issues, you know?
Well, yeah, everyone's got back issues. We're also joined tonight by Lord Otter.
The time has come, and so have I.
Why are you coming everywhere?
Yikes.
And the man with no
Giggity.
intro, even though he does deserve one, James Esparza. How you doing, James?
Hello, everybody. Got my detective hat on.
Oh yeah, he's got the book detective suit on. Nice.
Doing well, though. It's been a wonderful day. Just finished up the other stream, and now I'm ready to strut it over here.
Yeah. What's your stream called?
It is Terran Tuesdays with
Terran Tuesdays.
Black Knight and R8 Snow every Tuesday
At 5
at
Eastern,
3
I believe.
o'clock. 5
Yeah.
Eastern, yes.
Check it out. Always a lot of interesting topics. You guys are all authors in your own
Yeah. We got lost in a food conversation. It was an open conversation, but it got the food. We started talking about, because Black Knight grew up underneath communism. So we got to talk about desperation food and, what you ate when there was nothing else to eat. A lot of beans.
I mean,
A lot of salt and beans.
when my mom was young, there was a lot of poverty and a lot of different foods that, you did on a budget.
Beans and cornbread. Beans and cornbread, people.
That's actually a good mix. Beans, corn.
I remember mac and cheese used to be the broke food. Now mac and cheese is
Magical
expensive.
fruit. The more you eat, the more you toot.
That's right. Speaking of which, I have to find the buttermilk biscuit recipe for Frederic to make.
Ooh, yeah. Buttermilk biscuits, baby.
He's trying to fatten me up to fulfill the prophecy of his picture of a fat version of me.
Oh, yeah. I still got that. Oh, wait, hold up. That's on my iPhone, my original phone. But I can always charge it and actually open it and get it back.
I was trying to say Otter, but I called you author, which is totally fitting. Otter, you're kind of working on the final stages of your book, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm nearly done with my second pass. I'm wondering if I should take a third or just call the damn thing done at this point. I don't know. We shall see.
Yeah. I mean, take a couple of days off to think about it, get your brain focused on something else,
Oh, I've had plenty to keep my mind focused on these last few days, so that's not been a problem. It's just been a matter of making sure it gets done.
Yeah, finish some the inking of your illustrations here for some chapter breaks in your book. I might add some glare a little bit more on the knife, but finished these during Wrangler's stream yesterday.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're looking lovely, dude.
Yeah, I added a lot of details to the knife. The knife seemed important, so I added in some little textures here and there.
Yes, you need to respect Steel's dagger, all right?
Right.
He uses that thing carefully.
He has a very below average dagger,
Yeah.
Actually, it being shiny like that is extra fitting because there's a material that a lot of weapons are made out of called moon steel, which is very sought after. Kind of like this world's version of mithril or something like that, where it's like extra strong, kind of like steelish type silvery metal.
This world?
Well, their world.
Does your
You know
world
what I
have
mean.
like two moons by any chance? Because I'm seeing like a double crescent symbol here, and I think I saw an illustration.
Yeah, so I might as well go ahead and divulge the actual name of the book. I'm kind of keeping it a little tight-lipped, but it's kind of in that stage of development where it's pretty much done. I can pretty much tell what the book's name is called. The book's name itself, the sequel to Steel and Stormbright, is called The Shadow of Twin Moons. So 2 moons is a big motif for the second novel.
I thought we said the name of it.
Did we?
Yeah.
That just sounds like it sounds like an allusion to breasts again. Otter. Is that a
Damn it, he
euphemism?
figured out my plan.
The euphemism for him is usually 2 pairs of balls,
Well, that's it, like double
One
moons.
might call them manospheres or something.
I think he's got a manospheres.
To be fair, those was intentionally made to be a fucking dick joke.
That's a good one.
That was even from the inception, Otta.
Chat's quiet tonight. If you're lurking out there, say hi. Come, don't be shy. Hit a
I'm
like,
lurking.
subscribe. We're always looking for new subscribers. And
I might actually need to get back on this story. I was like almost done with the first draft of that one.
Do
Yeah.
it.
But I'm
You-
lazy.
on a story you're working on, Billy Bob.
Yeah, this is one I've had for a long time. For like
He's had it for the
3
better
years
part of,
ago?
like 3 years. Yeah.
So let's get going. You're always the one cracking the whip. We got to turn around and crack the whip on you, man. Get, boy.
Nah, I had like most of the first draft done. That's like towards the end, but I don't know. It annoyed me. Christian's part of the story annoyed me.
Was it what you worked on it together or what?
No, it was his character in the book.
Oh, okay.
I remember King Bob's character in the book.
Yeah, he's a big fat giant, like a piece of shit, like a pharaoh.
He's the BFG, the big fat giant.
Yeah. That's what I had.
So, Otter, you guys had an incredible adventure with a dragon recently.
Yeah, and players might have sort of completely wiped it out. Like in like 2 attacks or something like that.
Technically, one-shotted it. I think
you all dealt a little bit of damage to it.
Yeah, but that was
beforehand.
with the lich, and that was just me to make sure that fucking.
That was the test before you all went like balls deep, you know.
Yeah, because I was like, I don't know, Otter might have used the shield spell on this dragon.
Like,
Let me see.
is Otter fucking with us? We shall see.
If it
Now,
was,
are you
I was
being
like, "Ah."
too
When
easy on
aren't
them?
you?
Well, that's my secret, Cap. I'm always messing with you guys.
There you go.
And now to Elfland, land of elves.
Land
Okay.
of Elves. It's like that. So, I'm learning that for this next session, the party's actually planning on splitting up. So it's like half of the party is going in one direction, and the other half is going in a completely different direction.
I'm
Which is
guessing
interesting.
Rondo's going with Blackwood and them.
I don't know, actually. I honestly
I
don't
think
know.
it's
He
just
hasn't told
them
me.
two, and then the rest of us.
Are you going to be splitting the game in 2, or how's the what angle are you going to have on that?
I just kind of sort of duck and weave between the 2 perspectives, try and keep a decent pace going on. That's really all I do. Nothing too fancy.
That makes sense. We've got another issue of Wrangler coming in. How you doing again, Wrangler? Been in and out.
All right, my phone was dying. I had to switch to the computer
All right.
after I was done topping off my coffee, of course.
Of course.
We're all set and ready to go then. James, are you ready to go with the book cam? I think can't speak for everyone, but I'm pretty curious to see what you've got, what you
Indeed,
found.
sir. 1 second right here. Alrighty then. So we actually have 2 titles that are very interesting. One I'm going to show off really quick is Understanding Comics, The Invisible Art. This one's actually pretty fantastic because I stumbled across it, and apparently you actually owned a copy of this one as well.
Yeah, when it came out, I bought it and
Yes.
read it.
And
When you came out,
when the book came out.
It's not what I heard.
yeah. Sure, Frederic, sure.
This one was a pretty interesting find because I wasn't expecting it to be in the format it was. I knew it'd have a lot of illustrations, and it's actually not that large at all. It's in comic book format through the entire thing, including size, which was really fun. And I've already been through the first chapter. This is a quick 9-page spread introduction. And then I actually always really like these big, empty scenes like this, with just the text in the bottom. I think that's a real good use of
These are
space,
great pages to fax to the people you don't like.
right?
So, Frederic, is this how you celebrated coming out?
Listen,
What was
This-
your parents' reaction?
this book was published, I think,
Was
in
there
the-
shock,
in
anger?
the 90s. Very fun. You're one to speak, Otter.
Yeah,
But,
this one, it's pretty fun.
It's
I've
great.
enjoyed it. Yeah,
It's his best book. I've read 2 others, the 2 following books he did.
yeah.
I think it's Making Comics, another one, and then he had one that was like kind of seeing what the future of comics could be on the web. That one was really interesting. especially considering that he was talking about micropayments, which micropayments have never been a thing before we got Bitcoin Lightning, which is interesting because everything that he talked about could be doable, feasible with Bitcoin right now. And I'm thinking of going back and reading that one and seeing if we can implement
Some translation.
Yeah, implement some of those ideas. Yeah.
Yeah, because like this entire first chapter that I read, it was very curious. It essentially asks the question, "What are comics?" and it tries to expand on them. Here it talks about the difference between like still images and then comics are sort of you got multiple images, one after the other, telling a story, and then it just sort of asks, "What is a comic?" Starts poking holes into that right here when it compares it to other mediums. Asks what is a comic. It tries to give us a lovely example, which I think is set up perfectly, where you got a gentleman on a stage with a full crowd. And then he just really starts poking holes on it, talks about how comic books could be juxtaposed sequences of static images. And then they talk about how, well, then you introduce text, because isn't that essentially what film is juxtaposed sequences of static images. And then it starts broadening on what comics are, where comics come from, what could be considered a comic if you try to just use a particular definition. And it goes into hieroglyphs. Well, first it goes into Mesoamerican imagery, which is, I guess, like hieroglyphs.
Is it me lagging or is he lagging a little bit?
Am I lagging?
Lagging how?
Is it me or him?
I don't know.
I don't sense any lag.
Yeah, let me get this up. It looks like it's a little
Okay,
fuzz
it's
on my
me.
screen now. Some of the scenes here.
I don't know how you could tell he's lagging. I don't see his lips moving or nothing.
Well, because I
Either
can
way.
actually hear it in the audio.
It's robotic voice. This is a robotic voice you're getting.
Oh, you're talking about the robot voice or something.
Am I getting robotic voice?
Yeah,
now?
but I
No,
don't know
I-
if it was specifically it was me lagging or was yours that was lagging. If anyone
I
was
think
hearing
it's
it.
you, Billy, because I can't hear it on my end.
Yeah, I think it's your side, Billy.
I think it might be just me.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah,
What
and I'm
is the-
noticing your voice and your pink tuber lighting up are not matching up.
I'm gonna boost my light on this because it's a little fuzzy when I put it down.
I don't know what's going on anymore.
The world, my friend.
Yeah,
What is happening?
it's pure chaos, you know, the usual.
Anyways,
I
Just
never
another
do.
day.
Okay,
fun book.
frequency was talking and lagging really bad, and then everyone stopped talking. For like a
Okay,
solid 15 seconds.
Well,
I
I
did
think
hear.
that is your
we're,
internet, Billy.
Yeah.
we're a very unhinged show, apparently. So
Indeed. But anyways, fun book. You can get this one on eBay for particularly cheap. I think
I
the
don't think
average
mine's
price-
doing much better.
I think the average price is about $10 for this one on eBay.
oh, that's pretty cheap. I think it was 20 when
Yes.
it came out. Yeah.
I'm sure it is. And like I said, the entire thing goes into comic books in fine detail.
Yeah, they use this in universities. I think even design classes are studying it now. It's like a very thorough book on understanding images.
Yeah, it's really great, and I definitely recommend it for anybody who wants to sort of get more of a fine eye of comic books, because this one definitely digs deep into it. But this one right
Ooh.
here,
Star of the show.
the star of the show. I was talking about this with Frederic yesterday. This is a particular book I got because this one, the author, the illustrator, teamed up with the gentleman who does text. What do they call him?
Letterer.
The letterer.
Yes.
And they went crazy on this one by bringing in elements of typography and pop art and introducing them into comics, being one of, if not the first to actually do this. And this one is a sort of like an unsung comic because the artist himself behind it all is notoriously known for his explicit drawing, so people don't necessarily like to bring him up as an inspiration for other books.
Oh, did he draw porn or something?
I think it's just a lot of his stuff had a lot of explicit scenes in it. Probably. I didn't go too deep in it. I was focusing primarily on the comics.
Yeah, you didn't go too deep into his explicit material? Okay.
No.
So tune in next week, folks, when we go deep. No, just kidding.
Man,
Go
I
real.
mean, you wouldn't be able to mention most fucking manga artists then.
Yeah.
People were that concerned.
Well, you got to remember, this is the 80s.
True.
And which is interesting because if you actually compare this to a lot of the other comics in the 80s, it sticks out. But you compare it to comics today, it fits right in. And I was also talking to Frederic because this one is actually aged pretty well. The story revolves around an actor who was drafted into a form of police because this takes place about 6 years in the future from now, 2031, in a cyberpunk future, where this actor was replaced by regenerative AI. So he's still technically on the show, but they didn't need him anymore. So they just used AI to replace him. But of course, they didn't use the term AI because it didn't exist back then. Regenerative AI.
What do they call it in the book?
They call it computer imagery, computer generated imagery. So basically CGI. They call them CGI. And here's the interesting: in the future, Earth has been mostly abandoned because we repopulated on Mars. America is ran by a globalist corporation, for-profit corporation, while Canada has been taken over by socialists. So there's a lot of
this book got a lot of things right.
yeah. So there's a lot of parallels there alone. But while reading this, you can actually see how they took text and instead of just using, say, sound effects alike to kind of enhance a scene, they used it as a texture as well as background textures throughout in a magnificent way. Now, one thing that I love about these old comics is their pages are non-glossy, so they actually look pretty decent.
Newsprint.
Yes, I actually prefer this, and this is actually something I realized too, because people these days like to share what they enjoy, and if you write a decent comic book, they want to share that. But if every image is glossy, everybody trying to take a photo is gonna have a problem.
So I would love to print a comic on old newsprint like that. I think it would be freaking retro as fuck, and I'd love it. But not every printer does newsprint now. It's kind of hard to do it. There's one indie, well, small publisher, let's call him, because he's like big for an indie, but he's a small publisher. Pete Samedi with his Alterna Comics, he still does newsprints, and I think he's still selling comic books for like $2. It's crazy cheap.
I'm gonna have to look into that.
Yeah, Alterna
That's
Comics.
the way to go.
He has a show on YouTube as well. He calls it Comic Book Radio. Excellent show. Good resource. Yeah.
I gotta take a look at that. But as you can see, this is kind of what I'm talking about. Hopefully, is the screen blurry at all? Is everything looking all right?
That's a
Everything
little
looks
blurry,
good.
but not too bad.
It's a little bit glossy on the cover and the interior cover, but as you were saying, the matte pages come out looking good.
Like I said, this is why I brought up last night on Frequency Stream to Aaron. I'm like, indies, you gotta at least have digital as well.
Yes. People want to share these days online.
Because a lot of indie comics do use
glossy, and they only produce physical copies. So you got to take pictures of glossy things, and your lights are just going to bounce right off of the gloss. So I suggest look into more paper-based elements, something that doesn't shine that light off, because everyone's taking photos now with their cameras, and the easier you make it for them, the better. But this is kind of what I'm talking about. As soon as you open it up, right here, you have hard times plastered in the background that is a part of the image, and less so sticking out or being a separate element from the image. If you were to remove hard times, you'd be removing so much from this section right here. Let me see if I could bring it up more towards the side, because I'm looking at the image instead of what you guys are seeing right here, this lovely Hard Times one. And throughout the entire thing, as soon as you start, you have this text that is
Hold up, zoom in on the
heavily
chick more.
heavily stylized text throughout that flows
James!
completely good.
At the
Trust
bed.
me,
We have
Just be the chick.
priorities, James.
there's many women here.
Listen.
Got
Our
Quantum
A
Age
at
Comics for the first time coming in.
Yeah.
Ah, yes, both of these are essential reading.
There we go.
True. Hellos. Welcome, Quantum Age Comics. I invite I invite you to please subscribe if you like the show.
I can see why they named it Hard Times on that page.
Hey, Corey. How's it going,
Yeah.
man?
But there is a
Hail, good
there's
sir.
plenty of that there. And you go throughout all these pages, there's so much text in the background, in the foreground, just wrapped around so much here, including this is actually a countdown that I didn't know was up, but it continues. You get these little black blocks with a continuous countdown that says Gogong. And once the countdown hits 0, it unveils to you what Gogong is in a gigantic firefight, because that's the best way to do it. And you also got a great introduction to character, and this is something that I actually like. Right here where it says Slam, the character's telling off her dad and using explicit language that is covered up by the word slam right here, which I thought was
I love that. Yeah, I've seen that in old comic books where you'd have like one bubble over another hiding the text and stuff when people would be talking
I think
over. That's good.
The one that actually annoys me the most technique that I see now is the random words or thing placed over the curse word in the text.
Mm-hmm.
Not a huge fan of that. Yeah.
Well, today, but you got to remember, this comic was from 1980.
No. I'm saying he's using a technique of using like sound effects to cover up the word, which I think is actually very creative.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah. I love
I'm
the way
talking
they
about
use sound effects.
specifically when they change the word or they
Like,
put different
put
fucking
symbols,
letters and symbols, right?
Yeah, you don't
I'm
like
not a
that?
big fan of that.
Oh,
the gibberish symbol.
Yeah.
Yes, little pound sign.
That's interesting because, you know, in Europe, sometimes they'll actually draw little icons in the text bubble, like skulls and daggers and bombs and things like that. When they're heavy language, you know, they just use emoticons, early emoticons back then.
I don't know. For some reason, I just don't.
There's something also really cool about this. Cool, like almost just predictive, very foretelling of the future. Your main character does not refer to himself as fired when he was replaced on the television show by AI. He refers to himself as canceled. He tells people, "I wasn't fired, I was canceled."
Whoa,
I was thinking,
dude!
Yeah,
this is a prophecy, man.
Awesome.
And here's some more before we continue. This is what I'm talking about that I fell in love with this text, because for those of you who know, I'm a short story writer and I make all my covers and I focus on the text of my covers so much. So when I see text, I like the art of it. Check it out. You have this character's suitcase, and right behind it you have this long sound effect crawling across the bottom, sort of like a visual display of the sound escaping his suitcase, which I think is just genius. But they have.
Can you turn it around? We're seeing it upside down this way.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah,
my bad. Here, let me actually move this a bit up this way. There we go.
Dude, the design is beautiful. There's lots of graphic design in this book.
There is. That's what they did. They took a lot of graphic design. They took a lot of pop elements, and they just threw it together in a magnificent fashion. Like, look at this machine gun, how it's shooting the sound effect right out. The sound effect is the bullets. It is the effect of the explosion escaping the gun. And it's everywhere. You look at it, you have text broadcast in the background as countdowns as well. These lovely big old bubbles that make a particular noise because these are supposed to be non-lethal weapons that shoot snowballs, like heavy, solid snowballs. So you got this snowball vibe coming out of your weapon.
Is the letterer a different person than the artist, or is the artist doing his own lettering?
They're a different person.
Different.
Let me go back to the beginning where their names are. Is it on the second page where it shows their names? Actually, I think it might have been let's go to the cover. It's on the cover. Where the ways is. You know, it's not on the cover either. Like they're hiding their names.
Sometimes they have a splash panel.
Yeah. Publisher, editor. Where's your illustrator? You know, we'll find it in a bit. It's probably in the back.
Yeah, no rush. No rush.
Yeah. I wanted to find one particular page. This is the one right here that I thought was fantastic. It kind of goes through the background of how the world collapsed. And the world collapse, they say, was like a domino effect in 1996. And they have just this row of exclamation points falling over like dominoes, and everything just...
I mean, the writer must have had like a very visual imagination of this book. Like he knew what he was putting on the page.
Another magnificent thing as well is this issue is about the new guy realizing the hidden subliminal messages in television and how it's affecting everybody.
Oh no.
Yeah.
There we go.
And there's a gang that always goes crazy after a particular show airs on television. So it's, you know, we're kind of just living in the cyberpunk universe right now. This is it, guys. We're here.
We're just missing all the neon lights.
We're missing the neon lights. Oh, and of course you also have, because every cyberpunk universe we don't have yet, a talking cat. Here's a long conversation with the talking cat.
Oh. So it's an orange tabby as well.
Yeah.
So they're speaking with a creature that shares one brain cell.
Are you jealous, Otter? Jealous that it's not an otter in the book?
Listen, Otter, that still reminds me of our Obama cat, mean frequencies.
Okay, that's pretty fair, actually.
Frederic, we had an android cat in our original Dark Augment game a long time ago. So me and Frequency decided to make it, and it was like we had like 2 or 3 copies or whatever. Either way, we could remote control and give orders to this cat to fucking like sneak around. It also had like was able to like throw up C4.
Whoa.
And it had a self-destruct feature.
No.
Yeah, like hacking up a hairball. It would drop a C4 charge.
And we
I think it had like one processor but 2 Android cat bodies.
Yeah.
So if one detonates, the program was still on us. It could transfer to the other cat body. And if that one got damaged, we could just go get more cat bodies made, and we had the original AI of the cat on our person.
So it was literally they were literally sharing one brain cell.
Yes.
In awe of the pages there. It reminds me a little bit of a book by Grant Morrison, W3 it was called, and you'd have pets that were kind of like surgically modified with brain chips and stuff, and they're basically military weapons from cats, dogs, and just basically a rabbit is the third one.
Since we have Corey Barton in here, just wanted to let you know, Corey, that Fred just got you beat. Just letting you know.
Does he? You got him beat?
Got you beat.
Don't listen to him, Corey. You can do this.
Nah, you're just decimated at this point.
Fuck you, Billy.
Destroyed.
You know what's interesting about this title too is they had a special edition release in, I believe, the year 2001. 2 parts where one had the first 25 issues, the second one had the last 25 issues, and both of those are actually more expensive than the original issues themselves, which is pretty funny.
So Corey, if you're not aware, he's referring to the commission I have you doing, because I also commissioned Frederic for one. It's been a little bit of they're calling it a contest. I'm like, either way, I get like 2 PC commissions where they're both busty ladies, so why not? You
Oh,
know?
it's a competition. We're winning.
Listen, it's just a friendly, we're just both drawing beautiful women.
It's a friendly competition. In
Everyone
which we're
is
destroying you.
Everyone is the winner.
Wins in the end.
Yes, everyone sees hot women with boobies at the end. And yeah.
That's what I call a mutual goal.
Should we show it, or are we keeping it under wraps still?
Keeping it under wraps.
Okay.
How dare you? Also, I'm the
That's
one who
right,
commissioned
Corey.
it.
You did. You can blame the other PC player.
That would be that's actually not Corey's fault at all. That was
No.
actually Nikolai's decision.
Otter was talking to me about it, Corey, when he was showing. So, I just got to make it easier for us to win, So I'm just like, no, that's 100%. I understand where Nikolai's coming from.
Funny thing is, it's like Dinah isn't like nearly as like upfront with being sexy in the game, which is really funny how this is turning out.
That's right.
Here's the interesting thing though. I kind of like it that way a little bit, just because like Nikolai's character is just like, oh yeah, modestly dressed until she actually sees like a body of water, or well, a pool of blood, but that's a separate story. And then it's time to suddenly strip, Dinah is like,
Sounds so wrong. I don't know why.
Nikolai's character does the most fucked up shit to increase her boob size. I kid you not.
Let me give you a little bit on the Corey. The one Frederic's doing, we're going full swords and sorcery with it, armor design and all.
Yeah, it's full armor. Well, full armor. Well, full. We see a little bit of cleavage, obviously, but that's psychological armor.
Yeah.
Distract the enemy.
No, it's full fucking swords and sorcery, Frederic. This was a realism armor. It failed like miserably.
I mean, I think part of the setting straight off the bat was, yeah, like this is like full on like barbarians of bikini armor world. Like we're not exactly shooting for realism here.
So don't worry, Corey. We'll be very kind winners,
Don't listen to him, Corey. Don't do it.
It's rad.
Yeah, I mean, I feel your pain, Corey. There's a lot of mastophobia out there. People are afraid of large breasts, and they're always asking me to tone it down. And
Oh, that was fucking Patrick who did that to you.
listen, it happens all the time. I'm not saying names. It's true.
The only
It's true.
large-breasted lady he was partial to was Sylvia. Oh, how he likes Sylvia.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh my God, you're gonna have to hit him on that. Like he went for Sylvia, but oh no, his character. Oh no, you gotta tone down the titties.
If that clip was a VHS tape, it would be so worn out by now.
Well, something else is worn out,
Ho ho.
Oh,
Corey's
my God.
right. Even in my all ages friendly writing material, I have a character who weaponized hers in a fight.
It's true. I mean, he's not lying.
There is nothing wrong with big-breasted ladies, all right? They do exist, and it's great.
We need to get you back on, Corey,
He's
to
not
talk
too
about.
thrilled about it.
Cor-
It kind of messes up her
You're gonna
acrobatics.
keep bringing up Andromenoids. I need to start seeing some progress, my friend.
Yeah.
Can't just bring it up anymore and just not show us. You know?
Corey, how about coming back on and talking about Andromedoids a little bit?
Yeah,
And
that's right.
maybe doing some live drawing with us. That'd be freaking awesome, man.
You have to show the ladies.
It's been a while.
Be so nice.
No toning back, yeah. He's working on the cover colors. Awesome, man. Awesome.
Hell yeah.
Ken Bruzenak. Okay. That's sounds like, I don't know what kind of origin name that is. Is it Russian? Is it interesting? Yeah, man. I'll send.
He's saying that's the letter of that one book that James was
Yeah.
having.
Yeah, the Flagg, American Flag. Were you done going through the book, James? We'd seen it, a lot of it.
I think we've seen pretty decent amount.
Are you waiting on any other good finds next to your mailbox, or any good stuff coming in sometime?
These were the latest ones to come in so far. I'm thinking about picking up this one magazine that's from the exact same publisher. That was the very first comic book made with computers. So that one might be interesting. I do like collecting the more historical ones.
Yeah, to keep us in the loop, man. You always got some
People like
good
computers.
finds.
Computer.
You actually make me want to get one of those American Flag books now. Like, I'm seriously into it now.
Yeah, they're real cheap. You can actually find the entire series for under $100. They're that cheap if you find it in bulk.
And
If
how
you
many?
buy them one by one, it's probably going to be more than that.
Yeah, because you got to pay shipping on each as well.
Yeah,
How many books in the series? By
50. There's only 50 issues.
dude, that's $2 a copy. That's great.
Yeah, real cheap. I seen them, and I'm thinking about picking up the whole series. Yeah, I seen it going for about $70.
Quantum Age Comics says he's actually listed as the calligrapher in his edition.
Nice.
Talking about the letterer here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
All right,
Yeah, I
Frederic,
mean-
if you're gonna get your copies, you need to come down to Tennessee. I'm just saying.
Yeah, man. I mean, I might.
Get them
I
shipped over to Tennessee and just go
I-
show there, pick them up.
don't think I'm going to go down to Vegas. So for people who don't know, I'm working on an art piece that's going to be expoed at the Bitcoin conference in Vegas soon. But I don't think I'm going to be down there physically. So I'm just going to send the art. But who knows, man? Good conference, a good reason to get down there. Never know. I've been to Nashville last year, and it was a blast. It was so much fun. Got to see President Trump before. Well, he wasn't even president when I saw him. He's still, campaigning.
Well, unofficial president.
Unofficial, of course. It was so great, man. It was. I had such a good time, man.
Corey
Nash-
says Bitcoin art.
Yes. So Corey, I've been a Bitcoiner for a while now, and I'm kind of in the Bitcoin space. I've had an expo at the Adopting Bitcoin conference in El Salvador last year, and I went down to Nashville to see the conference. It was in Miami the prior years. They moved to Nashville last year, and I got to talk with one of the organizers and the couple of other artists on the spot. And I was asked to do an art piece for the one coming this year, and I can't show it on screen because the whole theme is about scarcity. So we're not advertising the art. People will be buying art that hasn't been seen on social media. That when people show it, it'll be the first time they see it. So we're kind of keeping it under wraps and keeping it scarce.
Yeah, when he came to Nashville, I made him read Ghost of the Badlands in the dark parking lot. Yeah.
How's Bitcoin? Well, Bitcoin is down 30%, which is, just another day that ends in Y. But it's doing great, man. Every 10 minutes is another block. TikTok, next block. It's the money of freedom. You know how it goes.
Listen, you're gonna find out Corey's an EXRP dude.
The enemy. Listen, the shitcoiners are going to be in my comic. They're the bad guys, in the comic. It's going to be hilarious.
You're gonna have another villain that one.
I mean, there's lots of villains. It's a superhero comic. You got to
Yeah, but you're gonna have that specific Hitman villain eventually.
Yes, you had a great idea about that. I think I'm going to develop that. There's a lot of potential. I love the tropes of superheroes and supervillains. It's very wrestling, it's very like heel, baby face.
Well, a lot of that has to do with, especially during like Hogan's era with Ultimate Warrior and Macho Man. They were all pulling from comics. That's why That's why they would actually very much work as comics.
Yeah, it was the same kind of energy, same inspiration, right?
Well, they were specifically pulling and trying to get the kids from comics who read comics and stuff.
And I actually think wrestling might have been scripted more than the comics.
Just a little bit.
I don't even know what this ESRP. Oh, okay, well, that's good. That's a good thing, Corey. You have gained a lot of respect for not knowing what XRP is. It's an excellent thing. A lot of respect for that.
If you want to really want to get under Frederic's skin, just bring up shitcoins.
Yes. Well, I mean, there's a reason why, because it's ripping people off. I don't like people who rip people off. I don't want my friends to rip people off, and don't want my friends to get ripped off. That's how it works.
Well, you see, Frederic, the real solution is through XRP.
How do I boot people on this? There we go.
Corey, I better see that drawing.
Much better.
Oh my God, he needs to do like a Bitcoin babe, right? But it's like the micro bikini is just covered with the Bitcoin logo.
Perfect.
You hear me, Corey?
Don't change a thing about it, Corey.
Corey, we need to exchange pinups for our comics at one point. It'd be awesome. I could draw your Andromedoids, and you could draw my hot Russian chick.
That's what the XRP shit. It's the coins that aren't Bitcoin.
Listen, enough shit coining.
That was the Haktu coin.
Yeah, she's not even getting sued, by the way. She's scot-free. The Haktua girl.
I think she Haktua'd her way out of the situation.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, right? She did something good out of there. But to be perfectly clear, I think she had they had legal wall fortification around their project when they set it up. They knew they were scamming people, right? Yeah, exactly. Pump and dump people. Exactly. These are terrible people. We do not condone. But we are for hard money, good quality money, that actually preserves the value.
Yes. Bullets and canned food.
He might make her too hot again. Listen, there's no too hot for me. I'll tell you right now. I could give you a blank check on the hotness. Full throttle. How's that sound?
Stop. What I've just done is stop a potential 2-hour-long conversation about Bitcoin. Bitcoin hit 80K over the week, and you need to be on high alert for crypto bros with high confidence. This could be anyone. This could be a male coworker. This could be your brother-in-law. This could be your boyfriend's friend who's also a boy, or even a random man on the street. So say you've been approached by one of these crypto bros.
I used to have $2 in Bitcoin, but now it's actually $5.
So you've been locked in a conversation against your will. There's a few things you can try here. No. Now this rarely works, but it gives you a good defensive base.
They said that they knew who Satoshi was, but actually in the documentary...
So what you want to try and do now is make him nervous. Make him distracted. Bitcoin just tanked and now it's only 20K. Whether or not this is true, this is going to make him nervous. He might even run and go look at his phone to see if this is true. Now, if none of these techniques have worked, you can try my last favorite technique, which is take these two fingers and find the pressure points on the back of the neck.
Yeah, that pressure point trick does not work. hate to be.
So I guess she's saying only dudes are into Bitcoin.
Well, it's not true. There's more and more babes that are into Bitcoin. I'll tell you that. I see a lot of them on my social media, and I've met a few in person too. I mean, it's a minority. It's like going to a comic book conference. It's like it's mostly dudes, but there's more babes than there used to be. Oh, that's for sure. Girls are catching on. We need like.
I'm going to start my own shitcoin, and I'm going to call it Babe Coin.
No, you're going to be banned. It's going to be banned coin.
Damn it, you stole my joke.
負けない水イオンサプライポカリスエット
I need to get
Who
me
was
some
she
book
fighting
buddies.
again?
Potori Sueto.
She's just practicing her katas, it's just training, ready for that fight. But yeah, you can put like small amounts into Bitcoin, like as long as you find an exchange. Lightning is very efficient as well, so you can start with small amounts. You don't need like a huge investment.
I've gotten Bitcoin right on my Robinhood app. I mean, not Robinhood, Cash App.
You need to get that
actual wallet.
Self-custody is the real ownership, because if they close or if they decide to change terms or whatever, they can.
I have the digital streamers version of Claim to Bitcoin.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know if Cash App does, but I think you can usually withdraw. Like you got to set up a wallet and then get your backup seed ready, and then you can transfer over there. If you need help with that, just DM me. I'll help you out.
That's too intelligent for me. I don't understand it.
No, if you can play
Which
video
one's your
games.
favorite clip on the show, Corey? Her?
The Pocari
Or
Sweat.
Sabrina?
Oh, did we play that clip? Let me play it again.
The Pocari Sweat or the Sabrina?
I know, we're playing Pocari Sweat.
Okay, so before I do, Pocari Sweat, notice her what do you call it? Shoulder pads are the same as Rattel. Rattel
I don't
has
think
this.
I'm looking at her shoulder pads, to be honest
Well,
with you,
that's
Frederic.
why I'm focusing your attention before I play the.
負けない水イオンサプライポカリスエット
We need to
Drawing
get-
focus to the screen.
We need to get paid by Pocari Sweat. Do we
I
still have the-
do. I actually really do like the '80s vibe to that commercial.
Do we get rid of the draw focus to the stage clip?
No. It's still
Okay.
there.
Okay. Must be a little bit lower than.
I don't think I may have deleted a couple, but it wasn't that.
Okay. You'd think like 100 clips would be enough from StreamYards, but no, we still run out of
Well, there's some clips we don't really use, so some of them I get rid of for clips we do use.
Exactly. Oh, here it is.
So Mignola sticks Hellboy in front of the window for a nice bit of negative space. He leaves out some colored lines to hint at the shape of a window, adds some very interesting background details, and covers everything else in black. This is, of course, not the only way to draw focus to the stage.
Corey, when you come on the stream, we need you to show us that high resolution of the Andromenoids, by the way. You said you had a high resolution version. I think it was that, it was one of the double page spread eagle pages.
That's right, Corey. You got to give the fans what they want.
That's right, Corey.
Sure, you'll have no problem doing that. Oh, this is another contender for a really hot clip.
Okay, I'm just saying it. I'm a Latin gentleman. I need some curves here, people. Okay, the last two you show have the physique of a.
I believe.
That's a little better.
I believe, Sabrina.
Thank you, Sabrina. You've made my day just a little better.
See, like the
You got one that you can play for Blackwood?
blood pressure drops every time we play that. For Blackwood, what is Blackwood like?
Nothing that you would enjoy.
Is that so? That's too bad. I mean, we like to give the people what they want. This one's pretty good.
Pop up the volume, just need to hear it. Pop up the volume, just need to hear it. Hit me.
Yeah.
My clips are way too long.
Yeah, we could dial it back.
I was watching the. I was
Don't
watching
worry,
the
I'm
score
watching
she was racking over the
appreciatively.
top of the screen, and
What?
I don't think she missed a one.
Yeah, she seemed pretty focused. And
You mean pretty focused?
Anyways.
That's a good one.
And then, hello, wavy. Oh, what happened? Just still focus on me now. Focus on me. We're still streaming here, okay? The physics can sometimes break as I'm doing these demos.
As you can see,
but
Melanie
never
Mac
mind
does
that.
not
Let's
approve of
pose Superman pose. Guys, eyes on me. You can still move your fingers. Oh wow! Oh wow! The boobas have. Oh, okay, well, that would make sense because the boobs have its own physics capsule, so, just try not to get distracted.
Otter.
I've come to the conclusion now that anytime Melanie Mac just sees a hint of cheesecake in a game, she goes, "Is this a porn game?"
So my question is,
It's
like,
so
can you not-
consistent.
in that clip, can you just not like reset like the character, or are you just forever stuck with the broken boobs?
I think she's testing the boob physics. I don't know.
Testing it? How do you test?
Well,
boob
hold up,
physics like that?
Corey. Specifically on Stellar Blade, they updated the physics to have realistic compression after the game came out. That was like the big update. You
Which
remember that,
game?
Otter?
Yeah, I do.
Which
I think
game?
that did that when it
Stellar
was like a little
Blade.
bit before the 2B collab or something.
Yeah, well, it didn't seem like it helped them too much.
What?
So they didn't have the best numbers.
Who's Stellar Blade?
I believe it was Stellar Blade. Whichever one made like the whole "oh look at us" boob controversy, whatever that people are like, "oh look boobs, let's play the game." Yeah, that one is like numbers fell right off after a while.
Yeah, it was probably Stellar Blade. I was
Yeah,
more
Elite
on
Zone
its
is-
terms
I thought
of
when Stellar
actual
Blade
game.
first came out, Melanie Mac was praising it.
All
Well,
I
here's
know
the
is
thing:
that-
stirring drama is an ephemeral beast, you know.
Speaking of the boobs alone, you're gonna need more than boobs. You're gonna need level up stuff.
Like
That's
what?
what I call it, level up stuff. Quests, good dialogue, funny stuff, reason to make the boobs jiggle is just
Right.
as important as the jiggle itself.
Oh, dude, that'd be a great book on writing. Yes, your boobs jiggle. but
Beyond
why?
the jiggle. But
Beyond the
why?
jiggle. Why they
Beyond the
jiggle.
jiggle.
Why they jiggle is why we're
Right.
reading the book, right?
We are connoisseurs of literature, okay? It's not just a jiggle we are looking for.
Oh, no,
So the
Corey's-
jiggle may be an appropriate accent of explicivity. It's not
Alright, Corey.
only why we're there.
How
Do
much
you jiggle, bro?
research did you do?
Oh, please. Everyone thinks there's a physics major just because there's boobs involved.
I mean, Dead or Alive. Oh, that's what I was going to ask. Otter,
Then everybody's a
are people
physics
pissed
major.
because the Dead or Alive one is only coming out only in Japan or something, if I remember correctly?
Are they pissed about it? Here's the thing:
Yes.
I saw the trailer for that game. I'm like, this looks kind of cringe. I'm not gonna lie.
It's Dead or Alive.
But the fucking people who play those type of games are pissed because it was only Japanese who get it. They're
Is
so-
it like Dead or Alive beach volleyball?
Yes, it's exactly
yeah,
what
it's
is.
a dating
Okay,
sim. That's
yeah,
the thing. I'm
okay.
like,
There you
this is
go.
cringe.
Yeah, that's Dead or Alive for you. It is pretty cringe.
It was the franchise that revolutionized the technology, you know,
It really was.
which is
Yeah.
all everyone knows about the game. That's it.
Dead or
Other than that,
Alive.
it's like the fighting game that I don't think really much that many people talk about.
It's
or I
like a
don't see anyone talking
yeah.
about.
No, you never really see too much people bring up Dead or like, oh yeah, I'm so into Dead or Alive, man. I love the combos, Dead or Alive.
Apparently, like one of the more recent games was trying to have it compete with Tekken, and it just failed hard.
Oh, which one?
It was like one of the more recent Dead or Alive games. I forget which one exactly. But it was like they toned down the boobage to actually try and make it a solid fighter. It's just they failed at that.
And then they realized, oh yeah, our audience is mostly fucking horny men. Well,
Yeah, it's like that's kind of like the audience they built over several decades.
I don't think you can get most things in fucking Australia, dude. You're like country, anything gets banned over
I
there.
mean, you get a lot of deadly animals though, like spiders and stuff.
It's so weird because Aussies are known for being like very good and offensive and shit, and like fuck you, mate, you know. But then their government is so fucking pussyfied that a lot of games get restricted over there.
That's too bad, man. It's the Commonwealth. They're in the same situation as us here in Canada.
I don't know too many
I think
people in
every
Australia
GTA
who
game-
actually like their government. That's the thing.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but like every GTA game always gets fucking banned from there.
Like let's put it this way: it like right or left, nobody defends the Australian government. Like just as much as you have Shad like bad mouthing them, you have Yahtzee bad mouthing them.
You know, all I could say is, you know, watching all the news during 2020 and everything, I was so glad to not be in Australia. They look like one of the worst places to be with dealing with the government shutdowns because they were
Well,
just
their government went
reputable
full.
people
Their
then.
government went full mask off. I mean, technically, a lot of them did. Fucking Britain did.
Yeah.
It was Britain and Australia that you had to have a list, and they were checking it to see what you were buying in the store.
And dare I say it, Canada?
Yeah,
I don't
Canada
remember
was
how was Canada during the pandemic.
Canada was bad, but the Australia was worst. Definitely worse.
Yeah, and Canada had the added advantage of pissed off truckers.
Yeah, the truckers saved us. Like everything was going downhill until the trucker event. That's when the horror stopped getting worse, and we started slowly getting back into normal.
For now. So, Frederic, when you see the opening of Fallout 1, what does it make you think of now?
Documentary. Much like Idiocracy. Speaking of which,
Don't want to sound like a dick or nothing, but it says on your chart that you're fucked up. You talk like a fag, and your shit's all retarded.
The people aren't bad, but your government is totally fucking bad, dude. Sorry.
Yeah.
Your government and media is like 10 times worse than ours. Like, y'all were literally breaking up protest, or was it protest or whatever against China, who's buying up land there and then opening factories.
that's happening in like every country.
Yeah, but it was happening in Australia specifically, and the government was like, it was shutting down anyone criticizing China.
Yeah.
In the government.
And then they turned around and sang the praises of a war hero who fought against the Russians in
Well, that
Germany.
was Canada specifically, and that shit was hilarious, which was, oh, this dude, he fought against Russia in World War II.
Yeah, we like Nazis now in Canada. Finally,
he's
they
German.
get recognized. He wasn't German. He was a Ukrainian soldier who fought on the side of course, Germany. Yeah.
No, if I remember correctly, he was German, wasn't he? He was an actual part of the Nazi party.
No, well,
Not just someone who fought with the Nazis, who was actually a part of them.
I know he was not
Oh,
from
hey,
Germany.
He was right. He did fight Russia.
I think he was either Ukrainian or Austrian or some shit, but he's not from literally Germany, but part of the Nazi party. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Well, if I remember correctly, he was directly part of the Nazi party. It wasn't just he was fighting. His country was allied with them.
No, I think you're right. He was part of the party, but I don't think that makes him like a German national.
Well, if he's part of the Nazi Socialist Party, he is. Come on.
No, I think they had people in other countries. Like, I mean, Hitler was from Austria. You know.
He also thought blonde hair, blue eyes was the superior race, and he was brown-headed. Brown eyes.
He was also vegetarian, so don't trust those
Yeah,
vegetarians.
he also had a dog.
And
He was
was
also
Jewish.
raised in a Jewish family.
Yeah.
Yeah, so don't trust them Jews. No, wait. What? What we were talking about?
Here, let me pull up that one meme. Kick a
Some
Jew.
kind of juice, orange juice, perhaps.
Oh yeah, I got this great freaking rise. This is orange and turmeric.
Oh, is he actually get? Like I said, the people aren't bad. We're at it. I'm pretty sure
So-
the people aren't bad in Australia.
Fun fact: orange soda comes from Nazi Germany. Did you know that?
Wouldn't surprise me.
No, it's true. Like Coca-Cola canceled their sending Coke to Germany when the war started. So they had to come up with an alternative to give their troops because they couldn't give them like alcohol when they were out in the field. They had to stay sober, and they couldn't
didn't
drink.
give him cocaine. I got
They
you.
couldn't drink all the time water, so they got their companies to do like a research, and they took like orange peels and other fruits. I think there's a mixture of fruits to make the quote unquote orange drink, and they made a soda called Fanta, and that was
Meanwhile, in
bo-
the U.S. Air Force, they were actually handing out like shots of liquor to their troops because they were like, "Yeah, you could die today. Here's some liquor to get through it."
Well, they
And
won.
then they were
so
like, "Here, take this Coca-Cola. It's got it's got cocaine in it, guys."
there's a lesson to be learned somewhere in there. Pretty sure.
Was it World War One or World War Two is when they developed M&Ms as well?
Hershey's?
M&Ms.
How was that? I don't know the history of M&Ms. Thank you,
James,
man.
do you
Appreciate
remember? It was World War One or World War Two. They wanted to make a candy
I don't know. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
that wouldn't easily melt.
The brick textures, like I went too crazy with it. I think I'm putting too much into it, but I'm like, brick's got to look like brick, you know.
All right, let me find that brick from Berserk real quick.
Let's see, right? There's a nice, garbage right under there.
I think James remembers.
The left one's slightly bigger than the right one. excellent verisimilitude because I think that is actually the average.
Yeah, no, we want to keep things accurate, biologically speaking.
Are you able to eat Hershey's, Frederic?
Yes, that is one of my superpowers, actually.
I'm just saying, because everyone else thinks their chocolate tastes like vomit.
Oh, well, Hershey's it's interesting because Hershey's is quoted a lot during, if you read books on economy, when they talk about like shrinkflation specifically. Because Hershey's, when the prices got higher or the money lost its worth, they had to shrink down the chocolate bars. And Hershey's were the first to do the shrinkflation thing. The Melbourne mayor guy that shut down all the bars and stuff during Corona is now being banned himself from every bar. See, that's karma. Or Barma. And workers refuse to build his house. That's good to hear, man. This comic page looked... Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. I ate Hershey's chocolate and the ice cream. Oh, man. It's good. Patrick.
I watched a video on...
What's up, Patrick?
Hey, how you doing, man?
Hail, Patrick.
Specifically, why like foreigners think it tastes like a vomit, because like one of the processes is like uses something like you would see in the stomach.
Well, I haven't had a Hershey's bar in a whole long time. I don't tend to eat chocolate every day. Corey says, "Hi, Patrick. How you doing?"
Oh, Patrick, you man, you told Frederic to reduce the tits on a chick.
Oh, here we go.
There we go.
This is the drama portion of the show, ladies and
Corey,
gentlemen.
don't say hey to him. Shame him. He wanted tits reduced on a drawing.
And then he really appreciated Sylvia.
And he really liked Sylvia from Konosuba. His favorite character.
I think
He gave her an 8 out of 10.
It's to be accurate to the character, Billy Bob, because the character had smaller breasts and than the ideal superhero, I guess.
Yeah, Corey, you need to shame him.
Shame.
Frederic wasn't even going like super ginormous with them, and he was like trying to reduce them to like a B cup,
He says they were double D's. I'm like, what? Well, let's bring up the culprit here.
I don't know. We have a chart for that, Patrick.
Okay, here she is. Isn't she beautiful? This is the blue rose. I was going to say blue orchid. But orchid's more of a male plant. See, we can see here the blue line is where the initial drawing was. And the penciled line is the character appropriate, correct, boob size here. She's got chrome body parts. She's producing plasmar, or plasrad, it's called, which is a form of plasma that is actually rad to look at.
See, what Patrick isn't telling you is he tried arguing with Frederic to make them like A cups. He said, make it more boyish.
You'll have to tell me who these characters are, Patrick, so I can, practice drawing them. Yeah, dude, I did a little bit of research on what plasma effects looked like, and I got a lot of variations, because there's different states of plasma, right? And I thought, okay, let's give her an explosive plasma at the top, and then there's these...
You must have found some really neat stuff.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what inspired, like, these tubular effects around her that kind of give her a sort of shield. No one can approach her while she's putting off these plasrad beams, right? And then at the same time, she's got this explosive effect coming up with her at her top hand that she's ready to throw at people. Like, plasrad in your face. It's gonna be pretty awesome. Exactly, all in due time. I'm trying to get him to spill the beans on his Minotaur character because he's kind of like growing with a super serum kind of thing. And I've been playing Batman Asylum, for research.
Be careful now, or Billy will ask for its dick size.
That's right. Roll for it.
So in Arkham Asylum, does the Titan serum in Arkham Asylum it makes the people bigger, but does it shrink their dick size or grow it? You know,
What's that? The Venom?
the Titan serum. Is in Batman Arkham Asylum the
If
game?
it's a steroid, then it could result in
I think it shrinks it.
hypomagnetism.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah, I think it shrinks it.
That could be the effect that would happen. It's called research on anatomy and effects of non-linear progression of muscle development, something like that.
What was it was an old college humor video where like it's Hulk or whatever, and he hulks up, but like it's just his other body, not his downstairs hulks up at all.
Yeah,
chick's just like disappointed, he's depressed, sitting in his couch.
Leg Day Hulk.
Yeah.
He was in the pool. Yeah, it's cold in the water, right? That's it. Oh, yeah. I mean, Catwoman, I don't think she's in the first one. She's in Arkham City, though. You start the game playing Catwoman in Arkham City. She's pretty freaking hot in that one as well.
I think Catwoman's best comic look was in the 90s.
I mean, I loved her in the Burton film. That one was, whew. Damn, Michelle Pfeiffer. That's hot.
We appreciate Michelle Pfeiffer.
Well, too bad you get the Halle Berry one.
How about the Anne Hathaway one?
I never watched either of those.
The Anne Hathaway one's like pure punishment. Have you ever watched the Catwoman movie?
Nope. I've just the Batman Returns one.
Dude, it's so terrible.
I know, that's why I didn't watch it. I got
Yeah, but you need to watch it now.
I smell a stream coming on.
You want me to suffer, don't you?
But listen, it's funny to know the whole plot of the movie is this evil corporation is making makeup, and the makeup is actually like destroying their faces, which is not like too far off from realism.
But
you know?
didn't they do like race swapping with Catwoman in that one?
Was Halle Berry?
No, I don't know. I'm going to be honest with you. It's kind of fast and loose with Catwoman in adaptations. She's either kind of like brownish mixed or white.
Yeah, you know how we feel
Always
about.
a mix between that. Every time
You know how we feel about race swaps.
In for a treat. You know, back before the war broke out, I was a saucier in San Antone. I bet I could call up some of them greens. Yeah, noodle some crawfish out the patio. Maybe some crab apples for dessert.
Thank you, Robert Downey Jr.
Oh,
I love
man.
that movie.
Oh, the
You get some
world
of the
is a better
weirdest
place.
character performances in that movie.
Dude, the world is a better place because that movie exists. Seriously.
Like both Robert Downey Jr. and Tom Cruise make that film.
Oh, dude, it's like Tom Cruise's most wacky film that he ever did. Like, he usually doesn't stray from it, you know.
He does a lot of serious roles, then he does that movie. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, Tom Cruise? It's like,
I bet you I could tell you, he was having fun.
Yeah.
that and a lot of drugs.
Tom Cruise, no, and you don't have you don't take drugs in Scientology, man.
Well, hold up. First of all, he's given like exclusive privileges in Scientology. He does drink and stuff, which you're not supposed to do either.
I mean, you can have controlled drinking as long as you're not an alcoholic.
Yeah.
But they're
They
they're
don't
very
care.
strict on drugs.
He's such a big action star and a big funder of their stuff. They let him do whatever the fuck he wants.
No, you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. He still goes through the same regiment, like he has to do his fucking auditing and shit and all that. Yeah. I mean, he does have
Yeah, you're talking
superstars.
about the money side? Yeah.
He has special
We're talking
status.
about like punishing you for drinking a lot and stuff? No.
But I don't think Tom Cruise does any drugs at all.
I'm not saying drugs, but when it comes to the drinking, he definitely does.
You've been going out drinking with Tom Cruise?
Yes, every night.
Why didn't you tell me about this?
It's supposed to be a secret.
Well, that
Well,
pales
not a
in
secret
comparison to
anymore.
Read with Willie.
Well, that's a weird thing because people say they believe that. They don't really believe that. They have a text that says that stuff when you reach like a $300,000 level called OT3. But they don't talk about that shit. They don't talk about their beliefs much. And their beliefs do get weirder and weirder. It's kind of part of the mind control is to get you to think things that are so far into the tunnel that you can't.
It's not even that it's just weird, but it's also insanely contradictory, which is also part of the mind control. Like it was made that way on purpose.
Yeah.
I can't wait because I know GTA always did the Epsilon program. I think all the way back from San Andreas, which is making fun of Scientology.
I honestly don't know much about what Scientology is other than a punchline.
And in GTA 6, of course, it's in Florida, but it's specifically going to have Clearwater.
Yes, because Clearwater is their mecca.
Yeah.
Because their whole, like the first level of Scientology, because basically, Wrangler, to cut it short, Scientology is a cult, right? It's kind of designed like, it looks and feels like business classes, but it's actually kind of dark magic, diluted and super diluted in like boardroom speak. It's really weird.
It's a sci-fi novel that's become a cult.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I thought that was Star Wars.
It's also Scientology.
Until recently.
Yeah. Scientology.
Well, their fucking founder and leader was a sci-fi artist.
Yep. And it started as
L. Ron Hubbard. He also wrote like Battlefield Earth and everything. That I don't know how significant is Battlefield Earth to Scientology. It's pretty well up there.
Yeah, the leader of Scientology, his name is David Miscavige. He took power after Ron died. Ron left the Scientology to a couple, but the power was subverted by this short tyrant called David Miscavige, who's best friends with Tom Cruise, and he supervised, micromanaged the making of Battlefield Earth, which was a humiliation, a huge humiliation, because it was such a flop. And he was deep in it. And he thought it was going to be like a huge hit. And Tom Cruise was pissed because it made Scientology look bad. And he was actually pissed at John Travolta. I don't think Tom Cruise knew how much Miscavige, his friend, was working on it. But yeah, it was a huge humiliation because of how bad it turned out, what a big flop it was.
Yeah, if you can watch Battlefield Earth, you can watch the Catwoman movie.
Why am I suddenly reminded of the South Park episode where it's all about Scientology, and it's like part of it is like Stan is like the new like incarnation of L. Ron Hubbard, and everybody's trying to get Tom Cruise out of the closet, but he won't come out of the closet.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah, because they wanted to call him gay and stuff, and they're like, nah, you can't call him gay. What if we say he's like coming out of the closet? No, that would be inferring. What if he's literally in the closet? And he doesn't
like
wanna come out?
half the jokes in the episode are just him getting upset that Stan is like apparently the new incarnation of L. Ron Hubbard, and Stan doesn't like Tom Cruise, so he just hides in Stan's closet. Everybody's like, "Come on, Tom, come out of the closet." It's like, no, I don't want to come out of the closet.
Also, weren't they also making joke that how short he is?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's pretty short. A lot of actors are pretty short, actually.
It was so funny whenever he played Jack Reacher. It was so funny when he played Jack Reacher, because Jack Reacher is supposed to be like this beast of a man, at least according to like the novels and everything. And you have Tom Cruise, who's just like really short.
Yeah, I think the series was far more accurate to source material.
Yeah, from what I know of the books, I've read a little bit of the books, but yeah, it's like Tom Cruise is not a good choice to play Jack Reacher.
I mean, you do got to give credit to him. He does actually do his own stunts and shit. Yeah.
Like, I actually have a lot of respect for Tom Cruise as an actor. Like, dude goes ham with it, and I do respect that.
Same here. Like, I love the second Top Gun movie. It might have been because it's the first movie that I saw coming out of COVID. So I was just thrilled to get out of the house. But it was a good movie. I enjoyed it. Like, a little bit of woke stuff, you know. Like, but it is so small that you can't complain that much about it.
Also, we got to see Jennifer Connelly again, and well, that made my day.
Yeah, Val Kilmer as well. That was his farewell film.
Yeah, we need a sequel to Starship Troopers, just the return of Dizzy's tits, right? That's the entire movie.
The funny thing was, a few weeks ago, like, everybody started rewatching Starship Troopers, including myself, and a lot, like, one of the trending things on Twitter was everybody was simping over Dizzy, basically like shit talking Carmen while saying, "Yeah, why the fuck didn't you immediately go with Dizzy? She's way hotter anyway." To the point where even like the actress Dina Meyer just started recording herself saying, "Thanks, you guys. I didn't expect this, but this is great."
Well, you know, at least you got the banger in the movie. You know, I'm actually, that is one gender swap I think everyone can agree on.
That's what I said. It's like that's one of the gender swapped characters where nobody said no. Everybody's like, "Yeah, that's fine."
I can only think of one other, but it's far less known. Pidge and Voltron.
In what?
He's talking about the I think it's like a reboot series, or is it a sequel series?
No, it was a reboot series that DreamWorks did put it on Netflix. And this
Yeah.
one, Pidge was a chick. However, she was pretending to be a guy to get into certain places because she was looking for her brother, I think.
What series are you talking?
Voltron.
I don't know what Voltron is.
You don't know what Voltron is?
Voltron is like
An anime buff like you doesn't know Voltron? Holy cow.
First of all, I'm not an anime buff.
I mean, like, second to something like Gundam Wing, like, Voltron is like one of the OG mechas.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, I'm not a weeb.
Yes, you are. What do you
No,
mean you're not
I'm
a
not.
weeb? Of course you are.
I also forget your age. Voltron
It
was
has
on
nothing
when I
to do
was
with
a
my
kid.
age, dude.
I actually knew about Voltron because I sort of grew up with it a little bit. I kind of like rewatching stuff that parents really liked as kids, and my dad was a huge Voltron kid, so,
Yeah,
I got to watch it like pretty young.
Voltron was not exactly Transformers, but they were like kind of lion robots, if I'm not mistaken. Or am I thinking of another
Yes,
variant?
but there were
they're kind of like
there were
lion
two
robots.
series. Both were supposed to be completely different continuities, but they did eventually make,
Okay,
they
so-
did make it so they're one world, and they had a
Just to answer Corey's questions, they didn't transform per se, but the lion robot would turn into like a foot, a leg, or an arm, or the torso, and they would combine and make a powerful robot with
it's-
5 robots, I believe.
It's basically Transformers meets Exodia. There you go. That's the series in a nutshell.
Exodia, I don't know that one.
Yu-Gi-Oh! It's like 5 cards make up the arm, the legs, the head. Forms Exodia. Well, just have that in mecha form and you get Voltron.
Yeah.
I never got why people were really into Yu-Gi-Oh.
Oh, I tried rewatching it about a year or two back, and it's like, it's still enjoyable, but I'm like, yeah, like, Pokemon actually kind of stands on its own where I'm like, I can actually watch this and have a decent amount of fun. Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm like, it's enjoyable in its own way, but I'm like, not gonna lie, this is kind of dumb. Just a little bit.
I'm an ancient, evil Egyptian god. Now throw your card out.
Well, it's like, man, I really want these blue eyes white dragons. There's only 5 of them in the world. Oh, I can't get the last one? Well, I guess I'm gonna kidnap your grandpa, Yugi.
Like, Pokemon makes sense because, yes, it has a card game, but the actual, like, thing in the show, I guess, makes a little bit more sense. It's actual, like, there's animals killing each other, right?
Keep in mind,
It's not
Corey,
fighting.
I've never been the biggest Pokemon fan.
Neither have
so
I.
many- I know so many people who are like massive Pokemon fans, and I'm just like, it's okay. It's
Dude,
all right.
I knew kids, they had, like, entire binder folders, and they're like, you want to see my Pokemon cards? I'm like, sure. I don't know anything about these Pokemon.
But yeah, it was like Voltron was kind of like one of the series I got to grow up with, one of the older cartoons. I will say this, even though it's mecha, a lot of the world building is like straight up like, I don't know if I'd call it like D&D, but it kind of gives that feeling a little bit.
Oh,
like
it's
the
very
villain-
much science fantasy.
Yeah, the villains are straight up like dark elves, even though they're aliens.
Yeah. I did put the link in the private chat to Voltron's formation sequence. I would share it.
Yeah, but be
But
careful with
my,
it. I actually wouldn't recommend playing it because you can get copyright hit on that pretty quick.
Oh,
okay.
Another
Well,
series that
Voltron
was
transforming
really
was
fun.
that big a copyright deal.
Another series that was really fun. Thundar. Thundar the Barbarian.
Oh yeah, he was kind of a futuristic barbarian, wasn't he?
Yes. It's like Conan meets Jack
and the Earth and the
Vance.
Moon.
It's like if you've ever read the Dying Earth saga by Jack Vance, and if you've ever read Conan, just mash those two together and you get one really kick-ass.
By the
like,
president,
cartoon.
vice president, J.D. Vance.
Yeah, obviously.
Okay.
Yeah, that was really fun. Ookla is just a full-on murder hobo in that cartoon. It's like something doesn't work, he just smashes it as you do.
I still don't understand why people like Magic the Gathering.
I mean, I liked Magic. I played Magic a lot when I was back in college. It was fun. It was a well-balanced game. It was a lot of fun. It was different. Every deck you'd play against was kind of different. I liked it a lot. I mean,
Also, did you show your deck to all the other players constantly?
Well, yeah, it's in the rules.
You know, I forget how long YouTube's been around.
Did y'all measure decks?
Yeah, the one was the longest started. That's why I always started.
I used to have some of my best friends in high school that were really into Magic the Gathering. I watched them play it. I'm like, I don't understand how to play these card games at all.
Well, it's all about like it really feeds into like synergies and power gaming in a lot of ways. It's all about min-maxing your deck.
Well,
Yeah,
because
but
your
to me, it
deck
was
is going to
like,
be random, right?
We're like putting a card straight, and then we're gonna put one sideways. And I'm like, what does that do?
No, that's when you activate. So when you use the power of your card, like your card has a function on it, right? It's written on the card. You have to turn it to say, okay, now it's used, and it's only going to reset next turn. So you can't use it twice. So you turn it to mark that you've used it.
It's tapped.
I think they call it tapping your
I'll let you
mana.
know the only experience I have with any of the card games was Gwent from Witcher 3.
Gwent is pretty fun. I like Gwent.
And even that had like bullshit, like the fucking AI was activating like 7 or 8 cards just fucking me in one round, and I'm like, okay. The fuck is this? That's it.
So, big question for you guys. Which is better? Voltron or Transformers?
Transformers.
Yeah, I'm a Transformers guy.
Never
Yes, but that's because you guys don't know Goldorak. See, there's something even better that was never translated into English.
You know what? I'll pick a better one, Terminator.
Is Terminator a kid's cartoon?
Yes.
It should be.
It came out in the 80s.
Kids are
so
too
it's-
soft today.
You want to go kids cartoons? Would you rather do Rambo or RoboCop?
Rambo was a kid's cartoon.
So was RoboCop.
Have you all ever read RoboCop versus Terminator?
I think I did. I didn't own it, but I think I saw it somewhere and looked through it one time.
The last time I read it was like back in 2017 or something. I had so much fun with it. It's actually a Frank Miller comic. He did like a
Oh.
crossover of the two.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's so much fun just because it's like it actually fleshes out the time travel mechanics of the Terminator a lot more. Like if the timeline change, it actually shows characters reacting to like their whole world like changing before their eyes. It's like they've got a limited amount of time to do something before they just forget everything.
Well, I already have a backup
You know that
plan
actually
to
kind
try
of
and
contradicts
take over.
Terminator 1 and 2. Because
What?
John Connor
Time
in
travel is
Terminator 2
bullshit.
Hold
Time
up.
travel is
Well,
bullshit.
hold up. Here's the thing. In Terminator 1, it's the first time they've ever did time travel.
Oh.
Like it's never been done before because the timeline actually splits and it actually makes alternate universes. Because the John Connor in Terminator 1 is not the John Connor in Terminator 2 because Kyle Reese never banged Sarah Connor in the original timeline.
Yeah,
It's
a
just some
lot of
random
the
dude later on.
a lot of the Terminator movies contradict the logic of the first 1 to 2 movies. I think
Then you had
Terminator 3
Terminator
onward, they just straight up contradicted.
This is starting to sound a lot like heresy, guys.
Listen,
I
I'm
think
just
Terminator
saying.
2 is probably one of the best.
If you go
movies
back and
of all
rewatch the
time.
first one and the second one, you pay attention to some of the details, you realize real quick that it's an alternate timeline is what was created. The original one wasn't always a loop.
Yeah, the original timeline was a doomed timeline. The second time around
Yeah.
is them trying to form a new timeline, which is much better off.
Which is why it technically shouldn't have got a sequel. The only sequel it ever should have got is actually Returning to the Future, and we had like a future war, right?
Well, for me, it's like where it really contradicted itself was Terminator 3 was when it said, oh yeah, the war is just going to happen anyway. There's nothing we can really do. I'm like, I call bullshit, movie. That's stupid.
You know, everything you saw in the first movie, yeah, forget about it.
Then you had Terminator Salvation.
I didn't watch
Also,
that.
Billy, Frederic, if you're willing to put this up on screen, I've got a before and after to show how much the town you all are playing.
Oh, yeah, let's do it.
All right. So this is a decent before view here.
Just give a little intro to people who might not know the context.
Yeah, so this is Talem is kind of like the heart of the campaign that's kind of been going on for the last 6 or so months with our Castles and Crusades game. It started out as a very small village. Technically, it's a thorp, basically just like five or so buildings, like a tavern and a few homes, that the players started to decided they want to reform and actually build on their own. So this has been something they've been kind of expanding on over the course of several in-game months, doing quests, new people come in, their legend grows, so on and so forth. After slaying the dragon, this is where they are now.
Ooh.
I actually had to go to a top-down view because a
So
lot more buildings have shown
What's
up.
the green line around the whole thing? Is that their boundary or is that a wall? Is that a physical wall?
So they have a palisade that they're in the middle of upgrading. They're also in the middle of building a stone wall that rings around that.
Okay.
So it's going to be 2 stone walls, inner and outer wall. With the expansion for progression for expansion in the second wall.
This is almost complete. I just need to polish it up a little bit. This text blends right in with the background. For the most part, it's getting
What
close to
program are
being
you using for the map?
this is Incarnate.
Incarnate.
Incarnate's really good.
It's not that expensive. It's like $25 a year for it. It's basically got a bunch of assets and stuff you can place and stuff and use brushes and tools.
This one campaign alone, I've been using it for like I've gotten my money's worth. Another thing I found out about it is if you get the professional license, just so long as you have the license renewed when you publish, you can actually use any map you create in this and whatever you publish.
Mm-hmm.
In other words,
it's only like $25. It's very, very good actual value.
It was well worth it.
That's cool.
Very good.
Excellent.
Excellent.
But we've been building the town up, building buildings and shit. We have now 2 bakeries, and they're both rivals. And one's called
One's called Great Buns Bakery. The other is called Bun in the Oven.
She was a hoa.
I didn't even play that clip, Frederic.
Yes, you did. I would
No,
never,
I didn't.
I would never play like clip like that.
You played that one this time. She was a hood. Well, we do have a brothel being built in town as well.
Yep, it is literally called the Pleasure Palace.
And it's right.
I didn't come up with that name. That was Nikolai that did that.
Yeah, and it's right next to the bathhouse. You know.
And there's a tunnel connecting between them and his shop.
Yeah, that makes sense.
He explicitly told me how this worked.
Is he running a blackmail operation? Is that what's going on?
No, he's playing a very opportunistic alchemist character who just so happens to be a hot elf lady, who also just so happens to make deals with evil spirits and demons to increase her boob size.
So she makes deals, but we kill the demon.
That's something only a male player would think of.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm not saying I'm against it.
Yeah, I'm not against it either. I'm like, yeah, like you do you. Like
That's why we warned Aaron about our party. Like, sure, you could join one of our sessions. Just letting you know.
So where's
letting
this
you
gonna
know this isn't the most highbrow game you've ever
Yeah.
experienced. It's not exactly deep role play. Not exactly.
It's very unserious role playing for most
Yeah.
part. Sometimes we
Let me know if you got a corpse. Maybe there might be a lizard lawyer, fantasy lizard lawyer. It just really seems like Kahuna could use some legal representation,
Is it because his character's black?
amongst other things, but also yeah.
I would be more worried about Blackwood's character on that one.
Hey, ain't. Also, James, I don't think that's gonna work in the town because, like, our characters are the ones kind of making the laws.
Even better, you always need a lawyer in your pocket.
That's true.
You never know when you might get caught out of town. I'll go over there with all the paperwork and everything.
We have to see.
Have to see.
If we set up a series of checks and balances, we'll need one. But right now, there ain't one.
Yeah, the check is, oh yeah, I'm doing this, and the balance is, oh yeah, I sent my men to do this. There you go.
Checks and balances are pretty much, hey, you tried to threaten the town, well, you get the sword, bro.
Technically, we have made the town very safe.
Yes, like Billy's character has quite the military operation going on.
Yeah, because you guys are now legends in the land for killing the
even
Red
before
Dragon.
that was the one who like formed the fighter guards.
And I guess I'm pretty much the town's version of spies, the CIA.
You're scouts.
Very helpful scouts. Scouts.
We got it all planned.
So where's this gonna go? Like, are you gonna turn it into a hot Vegas place location to attract foreigners to spend their money in their casinos?
Well, we are actually making it a
Brothels.
trade town. I spent money to start building a harbor.
Oh, because you guys are near the sea, you're gonna be able to get
Well, we're near a river. Big river.
pirates.
We're right on a river, actually.
Since we're on a
And
river.
then Billy kept getting on me to get an insignia made for the Scouts and Rangers. So finally, I make something, and then after I showed everybody, I realized, oh crap, that looks like a patch for a sports jersey. It looks like the insignia for a team.
Nothing wrong with that.
Otter's going to introduce an ancient red dragon next.
I mean, you
Instead
know
of
it.
15 magic missile potions, we'll get 30.
I'll be like, it's immune to magic missiles.
That's
Now
one
what
of
are
the
you
things
gonna
I
do?
need to talk to Cyanista
Well, you
about.
know, Otter,
need
I have
get
to
a
find the
blue
ruling
potions
on
so I
that,
can
you know?
stock up the barracks.
I would bet the Red Dragons are now hiring people to come in and smash your potions so you don't stock up.
They're just
all these
specifically
potions.
targeting Cyanista the entire time. Who, by the way, Nikolai's character is known throughout the land as the Great Sorcerer. His character is not a sorcerer at all. Not a wizard.
Well, that's because the killing blow was like 60 magic missiles just like arcing towards the adult red dragon as if like some magic, like super powerful wizard was like suddenly just wrecking its shit.
I swear somebody was singing the Star Spangled Banner when they opened those bottles.
How do they did the little Samoan dance?
It's the 4th of
It was
July.
all, it was all trained to do that, you know?
All too easy.
Anyways, Nikolai's going to want to make the Death Star.
Yeah.
I can actually see it happening. That's the funny part.
Yeah, the dragon's falling from the air, and people are singing, "And the rocket's red glare."
But anyways,
We're about ready to close up the show, folks. I think we're nearing the end, wouldn't you say?
That's all, folks.
Nobody misses them, do they?
Also, I just see in the comments there are 69 comments. Nice.
Exactly. So that means it's time to stop before we get the 70th. Let's close on this. All right, people, it's showtime.
Hit it!
Look at these gorgeous sons of bitches.
You know what, Billy? I saw that in the old Wolverine game, I'm playing Wolverine Origins from 2009, that you actually fight the old ugly version of Deadpool in that game. Like you have the volcano fight at the end as well. That should be a lot of fun.
I wonder if anybody modded it in right before you beat him. The better version of Deadpool pops in, shoots him in the head, says, "Clean up the timelines," and pops out.
Yeah, it needs to happen. All right, Lord Otter, can you tell us a little bit what you're working on and where can people find you?
Yes, I am on the very last pass for my book. Maybe one more. We'll see. God damn it, we'll see. For the second entry in the Steel and Stormbright saga called The Shadow of Twin Moons. It's going to be a little more cloak and dagger, a little more horror-based, but it's still going to be swords and sorcery, featuring your main brothers as the primary duo. So be on the lookout for that very soon. I'm going to be posting some more info on that here in the next few weeks, hopefully. We shall see. Still got formatting to do. Anyways, if you want to check out what I also do, I also have Curse of the Star Raids, the first book in the saga, available for purchase. If you're looking for some swords and sorcery fun, feel free to check it out. I think you'll like it. Also, there's boobs and magic.
What more do you want?
What more do you want?
Wrangler from Frequency Studios, who's also got a couple of books.
Yeah, and you can find them on Amazon. It's Haley Star Bad Kitty and the follow-up Bad Kitty Haley's World. Magic-fueled sci-fi adventures is good for all ages. You can also find me over on Substack under Frequency Studios. Also on Twitter under Frequency Studios. And you can find my YouTube channel under Wrangler. The handle is @Wrangler212. Put in the channel search, it'll pop right up. If you just put Wrangler in there, you're going to get a bunch of Jeep stuff. So use @Wrangler212, and you can find a lot of us every Monday night at 8:05 p.m. Eastern on the Weekly Wing It.
So why 8:05? Why not 8?
I think because I needed the extra 5 minutes the first time I did it, and I just stuck with the pattern. and if it gave me the option to do actual down to the minute instead of just every 5 minutes, it would be 8:06. Because wow. I drive for a living. I spend a lot of time listening to talk radio, and all the shows started at 6 after the hour.
Interesting.
But that was because commercials and stuff that don't exist on YouTube. Well, they exist, but in a different format.
We got some commercials on here.
Making fun of someone with a disability is retarded.
There we go. James Esparza. World Without End.
What you gotta do, water boy?
Why'd you play my commercial?
There's some good high quality H2O.
Some high quality H2O.
Oh yeah.
The undead are planning to attack, and it's up to Gwendolyn the Gnome to deliver word to the humans before they're taken by surprise. Glimmerleaf, link in the description.
You can check out my short story, "Is a World Without End Lord" at Substack.com.
You can do it, James. Do it now.
That's some high quality book advertisements.
Yeah, that's some high quality book advertisements.
Billy, you sound like Dr. Claw.
That's right. Don't fuck with me. Next time, Gadget. I promise I'll get you next time.
Billy Bobsack, you can leave your final villain message of the show.
Corey, if you're still there, we're fucking with you and just joking around. But if not, I'm just saying that because we're dominating you in the contest, you know?
It's not a contest. Everyone wins.
Everyone wins. Specifically, we win, you know?
And imakecomics.com. That'll take you to ratelcomic.com where you can follow the making of this beautiful comic right here. I got 6.5 pages to ink, and then it's going to be all on the colorist. The lettering's done the first draft. I got to fix what all the good feedback I got from my beta readers, which are all in this room right here. Well, a lot of them are. Got some beta readers on the outside.
Yeah, Frederic had to like cry after I gave him my beta rating feedback. He couldn't handle
Patrick, you just ruined our 69 comment evening, and but I do appreciate you saying good night. Our 70th comment tonight. Have a good night, Patrick. I'll see you tomorrow on Comicsgate Commandos at PQ Vox on YouTube. Check it out if you haven't done so. It's an exciting show. Tomorrow we got a great guest. We're going to talk about a vampire western with great art. It's going to be super exciting to delve into that. So check that out tomorrow. And have a great night, everybody, and God bless. Thank you, Wrangler. God bless everybody. Kapla. Good night.
Squeak.
I love you all. See you.
The sun has gone to bed, and so must I. So long, farewell. Auf Wiedersehen, goodbye, goodbye.
Hello, Bitcoiners. Thank you very much. Hello. It's good to be with you. It's good to be with you.